I'm going to walk you through uh, the events platform on Withfriends. I'd say the simplest way to think about it is that it's like a much easier to use copy of like things you would expect from platforms like Eventbrite. But in addition to that, we've built so many membership features that just automate memberships through your events. And then a few things that focus on bookstore events as well. So I'm going to create an event. You go to events, and then it'll show you the screen on your dashboard, and press add event. I'm going to create a fictitious book release party for Cursed Rabbit. You'll see. Book release party by the on the author in this case, I guess. So a lot of this stuff will be normal, so I'm going to kind of breeze through it. For photos, it says square. Found this image in my folder of images. I had no idea where it came from, but that's the Cursed Rabbit for today. But you can also do widescreen images as well. We should probably add the new Instagram format too. Right now it's just square. So here's my image. This is welcome to our author song for Cursed Rabbit by Kunal. Enjoy. We have a bunch of bookish categories for your event. They're important for our future discovery features, but also your events will be grouped by these two. Let's just create a normal $10 event for now, just to show you the basics. So I'm going to make it on October 1st at 6 p.m. And then I'm just going to press save. This says make live. It is important. By default, as soon as you save an event, it's considered live and people can all it'll show up on your list and people can RSVP and so forth. If you want to keep it in draft mode for a bit, just uncheck this before you click save. So now that it's live, oh, did I uncheck it? My bad. Let me make it live. Right here, now that it's live, there's a little sharing button with some convenient ways to share it. I'm going to go to, well, actually, now that it's live, it should just show up on my event page. So here it is. But also, if I paste the link from the sharing button, I'll end up on the event page. So if you shared this link in your newsletter or with socials, this is the event page they'll land on. It looks like any other event page. The main thing you might notice is this is a little bit about supporting the bookstore. It's a fake record store, but let's call it the bookstore from now. Supporting the bookstore, becoming a member. As it starts to buy tickets, it'll also say a little bit about becoming a member. All that's passive, like just helping you think about it, but we expect most people will buy a ticket for them and their friend or something. And in the next step, we make a pretty big pitch to become a member. So why don't you add a membership to your ticket purchase? Here's where your upsell video goes, or image if you have one. Become a member at this price, you'll get a bunch of cool stuff. In this process, we'll highlight any member benefits that are relevant to this event. So this deep cuts level at $25 a month, for example, has free entry to all events. So if I become a member right now, I don't have to pay for the ticket. Tickets are on the bookstore. You're a member. Thank you. So now I was going to RSVP, but I've become a $25 a month member and said, I actually got the ticket for free. You'll see this is highly performant. You'll get one in for paid tickets, it's about 1 in 20 people will become a member on average. For the combination of free and paid, like all tickets all together, it's more like 1 in 25, or it's like between 1 in 25 to 1 in 30. But basically, by doing events and putting them on with friends, you'll just keep getting members by default because they'll all come through that funnel. And many your top fans will just opt to support you right then because they're thinking about you anyway and really excited about the event and everything you do. So that's feature number 1: is all events on with friends by default at least have a little upsell to become a member. In addition, let's check the member benefits for this pretend bookstore. Let's look at this one in particular. This membership has 25% off all events. And right now I'm signed in as a member of at this level. What that means is if I am signed in, I automatically get my member discount. So instead of $10, I get 25% off. So it sounds basic, but like you don't have to do anything to run the member benefits for your members. If they get free entry, they'll get free entry. If they get 50% off, it'll just happen. So all you have to do is create the public tickets. General admission $10. Members will be asked to sign in. Once they're signed in, they just get their member discounts automatically. And so so the beauty is like you could basically just run, but just by setting up memberships at all and putting events on with friends, you just keep getting a bunch of members and they keep getting their discounts completely reliably with no extra work for you. That's the first feature we ever built. So, a lot of our focus has been there. It works 100% well. So that's the most basic event possible. It's probably not what you're going to do for most of your events. If you're a bookstore, for example, maybe you're doing a lot of author talks. So I'm going to show you an example of what that looks like now. We're going to get a little bit more complex. Instead of this general admission ticketed event, I'm going to make it free. And then I'm going to add another ticket. And this one's general admission with book. And that is $20. I'm just going to save that. Let's go back to the ticket. Now it looks like this. You can come, like me and my friends can come, and we want to buy one book, and the same thing will happen again. So it's what you would expect. For the member, they're getting 25% off this book because members get 25% off all events. That might not be what you want, and that becomes like our first really bookish feature. If I look at the member benefits, they say 10% off all books, or whatever, and 25% off events. Or maybe you have free entry to all events and no discount on books. Like you probably set those things up separately because they function really differently for you. And you get more complex than that, but there's basically two categories: your events discount and your purchaser discount for in-store like books and other purchases. So in many cases, you don't want, like maybe you want free entry for all events, but you only want 10% off all books. And that applies to your author talks too. The reason I mentioned that is there is a ticket type called book right here. Instead of free or suggested donation, there's something called book. And if I make it a book now, as the member, so is this the member? Yeah, as the member, I'm only getting 10% off, which is probably more what you wanted. So that's a pretty detail level feature, but it's pretty important for your author events to mark your paid tickets as, if they're the book ticket, as the book and not a normal ticket. In addition, there's other kinds of basic features we have. I'm going to kind of like cursorily walk through them because they're commonplace, but there's something called suggested donation. So you can just tell people, you can come for free, but we suggest doing $5 to $15, or it's sliding scale now, and you can pay anything, but it's like pay what you can, 5 to 15. So people like to use that feature. Just wanted you to know it's there. This right here, this is confirmation message. I would use this specifically for when you want to give people special instructions, like the address is only available for people who have paid or RSVP'd, or the Zoom link. The normal kind of like thank you is built in, and you don't have to write that here, but you would write logistical stuff there. In addition, if you want to create an online event, behave a little differently, just check this box. And I think that's all the basic features. So let's get to more stuff that's like you need this video for because it's not obvious. Let's look at this membership requirements section. Most events you create are going to be regular events. Maybe I should call this public events, but anyone can come. They're the author talks, they're story times, they're all your book clubs. They're all going to be, well, maybe not your book clubs, but most events are going to be public events. We do suggest creating member gatherings once a month or once a season. Members seem to really like them. It's a good way for you to get to know like people that really care about your bookstore, and it probably just feels really good, but definitely feels good for the members too. So in that case, you will, instead of choosing regular event, choose member gathering. Once you create a member gathering and it's live, it'll automatically invite members. You don't really have to even write a message. They'll get like an invitation regardless, but you can write something extra about just this event. So you create this, you click save. What you'll get, people will get a mail like this, and it'll be like, you're invited. If you wrote a special message, this will be the message that you wrote. The rest you just don't have to write. We write it for you. So now if a member clicks this link, they'll end up on a page like this. It's just like the other page, but it says reserved for members. Because I'm a member, I can just submit the RSVP and I'm done. However, what's cool about these member events is we still create a public page for them. So anyone can see this page, and it's like, hey, member PowerPoint party, member game club, anything you want to do, you could write around here just like any other event. The only thing is if I'm and you share this on socials, be like, hey, just another time for another member event. Here's pictures from our last one. Thanks everybody. And anyone can click this link. If they're not a member, we're just like, hey, this is a member gathering. Don't worry. Like, I know you're not a member yet, but you'll become one as part of this RSVP. So we have them for member gatherings that are strictly for members only. We have them choose a membership as part of checkout. So they have to pick one of these memberships. So they become a member automatically. Like, again, this is a great way to treat members. It's also a great way to get members. So that's our member gathering feature. There's one slight more inclusive version too. It's called Member Gathering Open. In that case, it takes a different tone where it's like, this is a member event, but we're making it open to anyone. if you really like it, please get a membership either before or after the event. But you're welcome. And so it's like it just allows you to do member gatherings without being completely like strictly exclusive. And some bookstores like that. So that's the full member gathering feature. Similarly, we have like this thing, this is early access settings, and it's for public events that you just want to give. There's a member benefit called early access. It's completely automated like this. You just turn on early access here. You don't need to do anything else here. Our default is 5 days, meaning when I click save, all your members have 5 days for exclusive access to join this public event. And then after that, the public can also RSVP. That's it. That's all you have to do to run early access. What happens is, again, this is optional right here with the notification. Members will get a notification like this. Hey, you have early access. Thanks for being a member. You have early access until this date. And this is the part that if you wrote a custom message, it'll go here. Just like the member gathering, if I'm a member, I get a page like this. It just says, you're a member. Thanks for supporting us. You can RSVP, and I can get tickets to this event. And if I'm not a member, you still get this public page. It's still listed everywhere. It just says early access for members, and it's a way to market the perks of being a member. If I click buy tickets, it mentions that this is for members only right now, but that's okay. We'll help you select a membership right now, and then you can RSVP now before everyone else too. So those are our 3 core member features, the automatic member discounts, and I guess the upsells too, the member gatherings and this early access for members, all built into Withfriends. There's 2 more detail level member features. Let's say I want to create a member meet and greet with the author, me. Just click ticket requires membership. And in that, what I do? And it's free. In that case, if someone tries to buy tickets now and they're not a member, I can't choose the member meet and greet. But if I am a member and I try to buy tickets, I can choose the member meet and greet. So that allows you to do special things just for members for an event that are outside of our automated discount. You might also use this to give people like free entry when normally you only have 20% off all events. This particular event, members can come for free. So you can do all kinds of special member things this way. You shouldn't have to use this very much. It's like it's really for when you want to do something special for members outside of the system that we already built. And then there's the other side of things where sometimes you want to especially not have member benefits turned on. So, sorry, I'm scrolling too much. In advanced, there's this thing that says benefit event. If you click benefit event, and ideally you write something about why, it disables member discount. So if members normally get free entry, it's like, oh, sorry, like this is a special event. Your free entry is not valid here. But like, the reason we want you to write something here is because I think we get like 3 years on average per membership, and I think I'm kind of proud of that. I believe that's because most benefits are like automated and therefore they're reliable, and also people want to support you. But like the whole experience is high integrity, and so I would want to like if you create a benefit event and you're suddenly like memberships don't apply to this event, which happens when you have external partners or when you're running a fundraiser. It's good to write a little about why, so that the goodwill stays flowing. So now that is our full suite of membership features. Let's go through a couple advanced other features that might be important to you. So right here in advanced, the first one is this is a private event. It's pretty self-explanatory. It means it won't show up in the listings anywhere or on your page, but if you share it with people specifically, then they can RSVP. You can do the same thing for any ticket. So you can create a hidden ticket that no one else will see. It won't show up here. But if you send people a direct link to that ticket type, they can RSVP for that ticket type. I think that is kind of standard. This is maybe a little bit more helpful to show. In some cases, you need to sell the book through your indie commerce platform or another link. You would put that here. So I'm just going to use this to show you. No, it'll say pre-order book. You might change the words here. I'll click save. Hopefully I don't have didn't make it a member event. Yeah, okay. I'll click save. And I'll go back to this event, and now there's a pre-order book link just on the page prominently. Then there is, this is pretty important actually, also under advanced. These are all going to be under advanced. There's something that says total ticket quantity cap. If we looked at these events I made each of them 100. So you can sell up to 100 of each of these. But if everyone bought all of them, you'd have 300 people coming, and maybe your place only holds 100 people. So this is where you would set the actual bookstore capacity. And all that means is if no matter what happens with the specific tickets, once you get past 100, it's sold out. So you probably will need that in most cases. Now this redirect area is for when you want to collect more. I mean, it's most used for when you want to. You use it for anything. When they finish purchasing, they'll go to a special page instead of our receipt page. You'll probably most likely want to use it to collect additional information through like a special form for the events for that guest. We have a whole walkthrough of how that works here. So everything you need to set that up. But in terms of the customer experience, they will RSVP. It'll land them on your form, your custom confirmation link, and then you can have them fill out the form and then land back on the receipt page on Withfriends. So it's a smooth experience. That's the confirmation redirect feature. And then there's one final feature that you might find useful. So this is my actual Kung Fu school and my Tai Chi class coming up. You can RSVP by buying the course or just buying RSVP into a free introduction. So I have that laid out, like especially with course tickets all in one place and orientations that are free all in another. The way you do that is right here, it says group name, and anything that has the same group name will just get grouped together. And then you can also see that I wrote special instructions, and those are showing up here. So that is everything you need to create events on Withfriends. And then a little about the backend. If you click View Report, you'll end up getting these pretty cool graphs of how your community support is breaking down. So for all these people that are buying tickets, 20% of them decide to support you, 6% just left you a tip, but 12% became members. And so you're actually for what was $400 worth of tickets, you also got another $89 of community support. For every ticket, you're getting another 20% or sometimes 25% additional support. So that's pretty cool. We send you these graphs in the ticket receipts, but also on your dashboard. Here is everything about check-in. It highlights different members. You can add staff just for that event, just to check. Like they don't have full access to the dashboard, but they have access to help check in guests. You can scan tickets if you have a really big event, and so forth. And then this is finally like for recurring events. Like it just makes it a little easier to like have a book club every Wednesday. You just press copy event and choose the next date, and you'll get next Wednesday's book club. You can change the description a little bit. And so finally, I'm just going to touch on how you might want to link the events on Withfriends. So here's a typical website using Withfriends. The easiest thing to do is have the events button click into your Withfriends events page, which is /events and your slug. And then on the home page, you should use our embed code, which just places the first 5 events, or you could actually set that to 2 or 3 or whatever, on your home page, and then allows people to click to see the rest. The reason that helps is just for casual browsers that wouldn't have clicked events, you can catch their eye with the actual upcoming events using our embed code. So have this button go out to the full page on your nav because they're clicking it anyway, and catch eyes with our embed code on your home page. You don't really need it anywhere else. And then finally, we've been seeing like a really cool amount of bookish event activity on Withfriends, special things like member events, common things, also special things, let's say, like author events, but like the list is pretty endless. So maybe in the near term, we'll make our front page more about helping bookish audiences discover and come to your events as well. Not top priority right now, but I just want to share that direction with you. Thanks for using Withfriends.